welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time since I made a video. I'm terrible about doing it, so I'm sure the algorithm through YouTube is all sorts of fun. But we're gonna get back into trying to keep moving forward on this. We got 90-degree days, 100-degree days here right now in July in Montana, so it's been real fun. But today I got my little helper. He's gonna help record on this. We're gonna back it on out onto some boards, and I'm gonna pressure wash it off really clean, and then I'll pressure wash and clean this floor good in the shop and kind of go from there. So I'm gonna hand you off to my trusty helper. See if this thing will start up. Been sitting a while. See if I remember how to do this.
I hope you do.
Me too.
Because I don't want it to.
Might ought to give it a little choke. Well, it started. What do you think? Yeah?
Are you going to put the boards behind it?
Nope, we'll just leave them sitting like that. I know it's a little off center, but it'll be okay. So this keeps it up off the mud and everything like that for me to pressure wash all that off. And then get in here so I can see what I got to grind off to cut these tabs out. I'm still needing to find another cap like that. My donor doesn't have it, but get those all clean and washed up real pretty, and help me see what I got on the underside, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we've already washed it once, and then I went and grabbed my spot spray, this guy here, and filled it full of purple power. And then you're supposed to dilute it, but I sprayed on and let it kind of sit a little bit and give it a couple coats. That should help break off a lot of the grease is already starting to run. So I get those two underside areas there I've been working on. So I'm sure I got some internal seals that are leaking a little bit, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I did wash down the floor in the shop too, because the pressure washer here kind of cleaned up some of the stuff. But I'll keep going forward on washing that down again and give it another bath and hopefully knock off a bunch of the grease, and then we'll let it dry again and I'll pull it in and we'll see what we can't. Start getting a few oil leaks sealed up on it and maybe get some paint thrown down on some of that stuff. So we got it back in the shop. A couple oil leaks we gotta contend with. Like I said, this plate here leaking in that corner and leaking right in there. I got a new cork gasket on it, which is factory, but I think I'm going to make a new paper gasket that's a little thinner, and then I'm just gonna put quite a bit of silicone on it and silicone it on in. So then I got a small seep coming out of that fitting and one out of that fitting, so get some of that. I think there's a water plug in the bottom of this I saw dripping that I need to pull out and get cleaned up, and then I'm going to start working on pulling off the shields. I got a spring to put on the other side now that it's all cleaned up. I'll finally get that spring put in, get all that stuff pulled out of there, and try to start moving forward on some of that. This shield over here has been up pretty bad, but I'll see if I can't maybe lay it in the press and straighten it back out a little bit. So hopefully I'll keep plugging away at it today. It's supposed to be 90 degrees, 100 degrees again today, so try to get as much work done as I can while it's cool. Starting to work on this. Pulled off the front dirt covers to get it on each unit. This all looks pretty good up in here. These were added in to stop this from sliding back. It's pretty worn right through here. You see everything is still looking fairly decent on this side, but the other side I run into a front surprise, and I might have it here too. Yeah, I think the bearings in these are worn out. I'm not quite sure, but I do know that the bearings in there are worn out. So I gotta replace the bearings in this. But I don't know, this is hanging lower, and I'm sure that there is some sort of bearing assembly in there, and that's all loose anyways. So I'm gonna try to get this track off. I think I could do it at this pin here, is my best hope. I started taking those off, but the other one I got to do is somebody got rambunctious with a pipe wrench on this, and so I'm going to take a file to see if I can't clean some of that up to get those nuts to back off without damaging too much, so I could get the spring tension off and kind of go from there. So we're having to heat this up here. Try not to get my chain too much. Get that pin out so I can lay the tracks down, and then I'll have a decision to make on how I'm going to proceed with this undercarriage. There's much wear and tears on some of it, so just a couple channel irons and a piece of 1/2-inch plate down in there. Just a lot of holes strategically welded or drilled into it. But, sorry. Let's sure it will fall out here. Just focusing on the torch.
I started recording.
Well,
Now I see why you told me not to stand in front of the trap.
alright, in case my chain came undone.
Yeah.
Sit tight there. It's my first time ever splitting tracks.
It is?
Yeah.
Is this your first?
But I'm an expert. I've watched other YouTube users do it.
You have?
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was just Gold Rush watching those guys play with them.
Oh. Yeah, what happened to Gold Rush?
I don't know, it's still in here.
Can we find it?
Probably. Alright. Let's see if I can do this without taking a foot of somebody. Oh. I'm pretty sure it needs some bearings.
And grease, maybe.
And grease.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't like that at all. You're moving the crawler?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's the back wheel that powers everything.
Let me set the brakes to see if that'll hold it.
Do you have to have it on to set it?
Nope, I just have to.
Oh, those brakes.
Well, the brakes are set. I mean, if it rolls out, it ain't gonna go super far.
If it does go far, it's going to hit your tractor tire.
There ain't enough track. Or do I just leave that up on there? Might just leave that up on there for now. Well, that's hot.
Whew.
Hey, I found a rock.
Rocky?
You know, it's amazing how many times you wash it, there's still more dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you going there for?
All right, I think this is missing some bearings too.
Stop spinning.
All right, if any of you guys out there have any insight on this, let me know. Does this have bearings in it, bushings? I'm assuming it has bearings. Yeah, it has to have bearings. I mean, there's some slop. So I'll have to tear into that and find out what bearings I need. Same thing here, I'll have to get into this and find out what bearings I need there.
Do bearing sleeves swap and
Well, once the bearings are worn out or missing, like these ones are pretty much missing. So if they didn't get oiled through this like they should have, or this one, they'll wear out. So once again, this is a 1942, so I think it's just has a lot of time on it. But I don't think I want to leave my door open like that.
No.
So I think I'll end up jacking up this side, grabbing those tracks, and pulling them on out.
Why did this got old?
Why did it get old?
Yeah.
Well, it's just it had a lot of birthdays, that's why.
How many birthdays?
81? 82?
Would this be good at pushing snow?
Oh, maybe. I like a cab tractor with heat. So,
Just put me on it.
yeah. So, alright, we'll see if we can't get the jack under it and pull it on out. The pin has seen some better days too, so I'll have to see what I can do to source at least a new pin anyways. Alright, so we got the track drug outside. I took the board out with it and got it all blocked up underneath. I did have this off already and I flipped it around because this has the port on it this way. But I got a feeling that this is pressed in, so I'm going to have to heat this up on both sides. And I rebolted it down. I didn't put the back two bolts in, and then I'm going to see if I can't drive that pin on in. At least enough to get the wheel off, and then I can get it to the press and press it out the rest of the way, or whatever I got to do. So I figured this might be the easiest way to get this done this way, the stablest way to get it knocked out. So I'm going to hand you over to my cameraman. I'll get the torch back out and start heating. Cameraman, you're up.
Is there a storm coming today?
I don't know. It's hot enough we could have one. I'll end up on the floor anyways. What are you doing, crazy girl?
What are you doing?
Oh, taking stuff apart. Has it moved?
You moved?
I don't know. Probably doing something wrong. I know it'll be a futile attempt, but sometimes some vibration can help. Let's put some noise in there. Sis, you might want to cover your ears. It has gear lube in it.
Okay.
You go.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's not going out. Okay.
No.
I feel like if you get that off the plate, you could like tie how you did the pipe to pull it apart. You could do it with that.
Yep.
Okay, you can do it apart. Because it's facing at it.
Is that-
Facing at it.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay. What it is?
Wait, honey.
Okay.
God, I think you're only getting things too straight.
No. I'm hot.
You're hot.
No, no, no.
Yeah, let's put that over.
Let's go first. Where do you want that for? Remember that? Remember that? Now it doesn't move down. So I have to put jeans on.
Yeah, I don't need the shorts on. That's why I need shorts.
Now I have to wear these. That makes me cool. Let me share. Yes, I got it. I got it. I got it.
You can spin the shirt out. Wait, no. Think about this. Don't damage anything.
No.
So you get it out.
Wait, that's not good. Maui.
Who's Maui?
Yeah, there. It's
Now is that for Don?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You get confused here.
He's the biggest god.
Who is?
Big god.
God's big Don. Wait, it's been over the yard. We're leaving. Not God's big God, but probably the
He's the biggest giant god ever.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to figure out.
It's just a bones.
Huh?
That's just a bones.
Simone's?
Yeah.
Where'd you get from Samoa?
Who's that?
And yes, opposite. No, I'm wrong. Correct me. I'll figure it out. There's the one to the big guy with the mass springs. They do things in.
Like close to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean.
Well, not the bottom, but I'll opposite. It's here.
Mm.
Are you supposed to be talking on that? Are you?
Are you supposed to be talking on that?
No, Rafe is talking on it.
Rafe is talking on that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Rafe, you have to put your face right there and talk. Let's see. Start talking in it.
Alright, so I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. So what I got here is, there's a special tool, I was looking in the manual, there's a special tool that this is supposed to bolt to, and a jack lines up with this and it presses on one side. Then you flip it around and you do it over, and it has a vise and everything built in to hold it all. I don't have that special tool, and I don't know that any AGCO dealers still do. So maybe a cat shop or something does. But what I do have is I just went and got it. So I got a old shop press. I'm laying on its side, and it should be big enough this way for that to go in. I'm gonna see, I don't know if I necessarily need that there. Is that welded in? Looks like it is. But the other thing it has is it has these slits in it. It's upside down, I think, from what I want to do. So when I got that, that's an old pallet fork extension that I was getting a little frisky one day and I bent it. And I'll cut the straight, and I'll cut it straight, the straight section of it, cut it off. Drill some holes so it'll mount in here. Then I got my adjustment up and down. And I might try to just get both of the holes for it to fit right in here, so that way it maxes that way. That'll probably be my weakest point of this. And then I'll put a jack in here, and I'll probably have to shim it up to get my pins to line up. So that's gonna be maybe my best bet, and then maybe I'll lay a ratchet strap from here to there to help hold it on in. So I might grab some ratchet straps and do that, to use them as a cradle for now, just so I can see what I'm up against on all of this. I didn't want to bring this all in the shop when I can just do it right out here, just a temporary jig. So let me flip it on over and grab some ratchet straps and see what I can do that way, and see what it all kind of looks like. slipping out, that'll hurt. She's gonna fall. Well, it was a controlled fall. I knew it was coming. Maybe ratchet straps aren't the way to go. Alright, so I got that front idler off. We're gonna call her quits for the evening. Gonna go in and get some dinner. So I didn't use the outside press. I came in and I used this press. And I'm using it backwards. I got a jack down on the bottom here that's pressing up. Now this is pretty much the tool that Agco has. The only difference is I didn't do the channel iron for the top one, and I need to do that because it's articulating it over too much. So the channel iron will just slide. So I don't know if I have enough room to get everything pressed out, but we'll see once I get it start moving. Like I said, this is kind of just a homemade, quick, kind of off the schematic kind of thing that I saw. So I might call down to the Agco dealer here tomorrow, see maybe they have one, or maybe one of our cat shops or something has something that'll get those apart for me. But I have a bolt with a washer that's holding the tension of that in, and that just kind of helps guide it too. So this is just sitting here loose at the moment, so that way if it does come off, it still has a hold of it. I got my little tigress, and then the boil. So we'll call her a night and try to keep moving and motivated on it. I've had some different ideas of what I'm going to pursue on this undercarriage. That's just two 6-inch pieces of channel iron with like an 8-inch piece of channel iron in the top of it with lots of holes strategically placed. So I very well could just order all new iron and build that whole running gear, because this is so worn and thin through here. So rebuild it, and then that'll give me a chance to beef it up or put the pieces where I want it for for the dozer bracket on there. So I might change that front leaf spring and go something a little bit more modern. I was thinking like a truck leaf spring with the flange I'd have across here, just with a single mounting bolt right on here. I don't think it'll mess too much with causing my tracks to go in and out. I don't think these really articulate all that much up and down. I could be wrong. If somebody out there knows, let me know. But see about going in and having a guy here local rebuild my spring pack and slide it into that, but just have it go and fix right in here too. Just a single bolt going through, like a 1-inch bolt or something going through a rubber bushing. So the rubber bushing will have the wear point, because this is all pretty much worn out, and I don't know where to get those pieces, and trying to weld them up and machine them will be just as much as having a new spring made. So it's kind of my thoughts on that. And then yeah, I'll just kind of keep going on the rest of my rollers underneath and everything else. See what I got going for me. Like I said, I think this spring here, somebody already chewed this bolt up here, but I think this guy here is stripped out because it wasn't wanting to pull as much as the other side was. So as I take it apart, I'll investigate it all and try to record down as much as I can. So, but I think we're going to call it a night. Thanks for watching.